back, Refocus Gang, and welcome back to another episode of Refocus on You. I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope last week's episode really touched you, really helped the mothers out there. I hope you sent it to someone that's expecting or someone that maybe just had a baby. Please make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos, this channel with all your friends and family on all social media platforms. Make sure you're getting this content out there. Today, we're going to be talking about character. Now, you can have all the money in the world, or you can have anything that you want, any type of materialistic things. And if you don't have character, you really have nothing. If a person will always remember how you made them feel, opposed to the things you did for them. They're going to remember, yeah, they may have did this, but they were mean and they made me feel less than. Like, they're going to remember that opposed to, yeah, they were so nice. They gave me such and such. They talked to me. They told me how I can do this and not to give up. And your character says a lot about the person that you are. Whether you're mean, nice, easy to get along with, you have a good heart, you have a servant's heart, or you're just nasty and you're all about yourself. Your character says a lot about you, and it also is going to depict your life, sort of. So the definition of character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Character is made up of a number of interrelated concepts, including morals, values, and prejudice. A person's character is a combination of such mental tendencies and the way in which he channels them in his daily interactions. So, say you go to the grocery store and you have this kind of nasty vibe about you, like, oh, don't touch me. Especially right now during coronavirus, you get people that are like, wait a minute, you're not far enough back, you're not 6 feet. Opposed to the people that be like, hey, how are you? You okay? I see you at your mask on, such. Like, you have the different types of people. That's character. If you go to the grocery store and you're all, wait, get away from me, you're too close to me, you're this. People start looking like, okay, like, we're all going through this. We're all in this together. You ain't hear me coughing out one time. Why are you snapping on me? Like, so your character says a lot about you. Your character will depict your interactions with people, and your character will depict how people remember you. Your character is developed in a large part of your childhood. So the way you are raised, the way your parents treat you, the way they model for you to act, and the behavior that they reinforce with you is going to determine your characteristics or your character traits. And that's why it's so important to start young. It's so important to watch what you are feeding or teaching your kids. Watch what you're saying to your kids. Making sure you're not killing their imagination. Making sure that you are reinforcing good character traits and not reinforcing bad character traits. Your character is demonstrated in what you do, how you do it, why you do it, and how you recover. So, say you are helping someone that is homeless. If you're helping someone who is homeless and you have your camera out, you're recording everything you're doing, was you really trying to help this person, or was you really trying to get a pat on the back, or somebody say, oh, look at him, he's doing such and such, look at her, she's doing such and such? Or if you feed the homeless and you sit down beside them, like, hey, I got this meal, I'm going to sit down here with you, I'm going to eat with you, talk to you for a little while, because you never know what that person can teach you. You can ask them how they got there, what happened, what would be a better life to them, because you learn to appreciate certain things when you talk to someone who has less than you. So sit down, have a conversation with them, no recording, no downing them for the situation that they're in. That says you have some type of good character, because you wasn't trying to showboat. You wasn't trying to show people, oh, look at him, he's homeless and I'm helping them out. Like you're actually sitting down and you're being modest, you're being humble. You're sitting there like, hey, let me talk to you. Let me help you out a little bit. Another scenario would be your boss. Of course, everybody in leadership positions, they are higher. Some people really let that go to their head. They let a supervisor role or manager role or CEO role make them feel like they can treat people less than, or they don't have to talk to you. You're the little people. And that says a lot about your character. That says a lot about how you're going to lead. You're not going to want to get in the trenches with me. You're going to want me to do everything for you because you feel like you're greater than me because maybe you got a degree or maybe you just have a title. That says a lot about people's character. Things like being a Christian, but also being mean. God is love. So how are you a Christian with a nasty attitude? Now he is truly working on all of us, but you cannot be a Christian and still have a nasty attitude and be mean to people and treat people less than. You can't do that. That's not good. That's not a good characteristic of Christ-like. And why would somebody want to follow you or follow Christ if they be like, oh, she mean as all get out? Why would I want to follow Jesus if I'm going to be mean like that? So you have to make sure that the things that you're doing are representing what you're actually trying to represent, what you're trying to create, the atmosphere you're trying to create, the energy you're trying to obtain around yourself. You have to make sure the things that you're doing are working with that. So 6 good character traits that you should look for. 1 is integrity. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Integrity just means being a man or woman of your word, withstanding your morals and your principles, not having degrading morals and principles, not putting others down, just holding your own, but also being a good person and having a good heart. You have honesty, the quality of being honest, truthful, sincere, and fair. You know, people say, oh, they lie like a rug. Like, you have to be able to be honest. You have to be able to say what you mean what you say. That is a person that you can trust to do what they say or to be who they are is a person that everybody's going to want around because they know no matter what happens, I can trust them to be them. Even if it's something bad, like you may have a family member or something that, you know, when they come around, it's going to be drama. But every time they come around, it's drama. So you know, without a shadow of doubt, I can always trust them to bring the drama. It's not a good character trait to bring, but they gonna always be them. So a person that you can always trust to be who they are is a person that most people want to have around. Loyalty, the quality of being loyal, devotion, faithfulness, commitment, devotedness, and trustworthiness. So honesty and loyalty go hand in hand. If you're loyal to me, I should be able to trust you. Being loyal means no matter what, I can count on you. No matter what, I know you're not going to let me down. No matter what, you are devoted to who you are as a person, and that's going to be you. You're going to do as you say, and your actions will always show that. Self-sacrifice. The giving up of one's own interests or wishes in order to help others or advance a cause. Being selfless. Just saying, you know what? You need this more than me. Or I'll sacrifice this for you to have this because it'll benefit you more. Like being selfless. And I'm telling you, when you self-sacrifice, you are so much better blessed. Because you're not really attached to anything. And you are able to obtain more stuff because you're not holding on to everything. The more stuff you hold on to, eventually your hand is going to be full. If you keep picking up things, your hand is going to be full. And it's going to be hard for you to keep picking up stuff. But say you pick up something and you realize, you know what? Billy Joe down the road might need this. And you take it to Billy Joe. That means your hands have more room to gain more stuff, to acquire more things. So being able to self-sacrifice is very important. Being able to give things to others, or being able to put others before you, whether it be family, other people's career, or anything. Self-sacrifice. Story. I was working at a place and our manager got fired. And so they brought in somebody. Although I wanted to be a manager at the time, I was like, I'm not going to say anything. If it's meant for me, it's meant for me. So they ended up bringing somebody from another store to be the manager. I had to train her. This is my store. Like, I know the ins and outs of the store because I've been here. So I ended up having to train her to actually be my manager. Now, I could have been like, oh, no, I'm not training her right. Or, no, I'm not training her. That's not my job. You gave her the position. Y'all need to come down here and train her. I could have been any old way about it. But no, I was not. I trained her. I helped her to the best of my ability. When she needed me to stay over, I worked over. When she called me on the phone late night, I was there. Like, I worked with her. Lo and behold, maybe she was our manager for about a month. And they sent her to another store and gave me the manager position. Now, say I had been real itchy about it and been like, no, I'm not helping her. They would have felt like, oh, well, you're not even manager material. But because I self-sacrifice, is not what I want, is what's best for the company at this moment, I was able to obtain what I wanted in a short period of time. That's just a little simple story, but self-sacrifice is very important, and it's important to make sure that you are not just seeing things for what it is right now, and that you are seeing things for what it could be in the future. Accountability. The fact or condition of being accountable, responsible, liable, and answerability. So being accountable means I can come to you and say, well, you left the door unlocked last night. You be like, oh, really? I'm sorry. Instead of, no, I ain't leave the door unlocked. Somebody had to be behind me because I know I locked the door. Just be accountable for your actions. When you're not accountable, you're always trying to find somebody else to blame for it so you don't have to fix the problem. No, be accountable for your actions. Take on ownership and learn to fix your issues, or learn to help the things that are going on around you. Be accountable for what you do, who you are, and how you act. Self-control. Control or restraint of oneself or one's actions and feelings. Self-control is very important. A lot of people don't look at it like it is, but it truly is, because you have to be able to control your actions, your mind, so that you don't run off and be acting off emotions, acting off feelings, acting off circumstances. A split second can change your life, and having self-control can really help that. Like a split second can matter from life and death. Having self-control and being able to control yourself and control your emotions, control your actions, thinking before you speak, thinking before you act, can really change your life. A lot of people may not think of it this way, but if you can't control yourself, how can you really manage your life or the things that are going on around you? Something simple as, I'm going on a diet this week. For this week, I'm only eating 8 hours a day. If you can't control yourself 7 days to only eat 8 hours a day, how can you control your life for 7 years? How can you control your finances if you can't do something small like minimize the things that you eat for 1 week? And a lot of people don't think of it as, they think of it as, well, that's not me. That's not a big deal. It's just a diet. Yes, it's just a diet, but it's a word that you said to yourself. It's a promise that you made to yourself. It's something that you told yourself, I'm doing this. And if you can't control yourself enough to keep your word to yourself, how can you keep your word to anybody else? How can you practice self-control? How can you say, oh, well, I don't understand how they do that, and not look at yourself? You have to be able to control yourself. And self-control is very important, especially when you're moving up in life. You gotta practice self-control. You gotta practice not acting before you think. You gotta practice all that stuff. Because, like Big Sean said, one F up could mess up your whole Wikipedia. Like, they always remember the bad before the good. I don't care how much good you do after this bad, they gonna always say, but you remember when. So just make sure that you are practicing self-control. So the 6 traits of good character are integrity, honesty, loyalty, self-sacrifice, accountability, and self-control. Make sure that you are practicing all of those things this week. Make sure that you're not mean. Make sure that you're not snappy. My grandma used to always tell me it takes less energy to smile than it do to frown. So just smile. Be happy. Go about your day. Set your intentions daily. This is what I'm doing today. This is how I'm going to feel today. Anytime you get off that feeling, learn how to control yourself and be like, no. Go back to what we was doing. This is what our mind is set on. This is what we're going to do. Just make sure that you are keeping yourself in check. People will always, I cannot stress this enough, remember how you made them feel. Whether you gave them $1 or $1 million. She made me feel like this dollar was going to turn into $1 million by the words that she imparted into me. But I can give you $10,000 and be like, here, I'm not giving you nothing else. Don't ask me for nothing else, and make you feel like the lowest scum on the earth. So please remember that. People will always remember how you make them feel. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope this helps you. Make sure that you work on your character. Make sure that you're not just out here being mean and grumpy. I know we in the pandemic. I know you're sick of being at home and you want to go somewhere, but we here. We living. We breathing. We have the things that we need, so we are well. Remember to be grateful for the things that you have. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you share this video. Like I always say, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Have a great week. Bye.